Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our team kickoff presentation meeting. This meeting is targeted towards trying and understanding our very first web application that is being launched on an enterprise level, to be able to bring the products that we sell in real time for our very large group of customers across United States, having 50 branches, to try and bring those products much more closer to our current audience. Um, just before we start, since we have external parties on this call, let's just give a very brief outlook of what this particular web application is being targeted towards, or what it's basically based on. So Dreams Event Inc. is basically a company which is an event management company, and it specializes in public and corporate events. And we offer many different types of services like concert management and camp session management and service management and volunteering, church management, etc. And the corporation currently is spread across more than 50 branches all across the United States, and we are basically targeted towards catering different types of events for a very varying and versatile type of audience, who are always in very large number. So since our recent surge in the demand increased, we wanted to be able to bring these products or these events much more easily accessible to the current crowd. And so we decided to go forward with launching this particular web application for more than 50 branches, as mentioned earlier, across the United States. Having said that, I would like to introduce now as to who will be the main point of contacts for this particular project. So I'll start with myself. My name is Niharika, and I'm going to be the project manager for this particular um, ambition, or ambitious project, more like it. It's going to be in an agile methodology that I'll be driving this project in, and I'll be able to report all the different type of statuses and different types of budgeting planning to the senior leadership for you. Apart from me, we have Mike Clark, who's going to be our business lead. He has already brought in $250,000 worth of business requirements, and he has been able to target many different sorts of popular leaders across the nation. Um, we have Pratik Reddy, who is going to be a business liaison for us and who will be able to convert the business requirements into technical requirements. And he'll be able to go ahead and explain as to what we really need for this particular application, and envision it out in terms of technical language. We have Chandar Chaudhary, who is going to be the technical lead. He's going to be able to bring this vision out into a major development effort and a testing effort, and he has agreed to be able to follow the agile methodology that we want to be able to implement. So let's move on to the executive summary for our project. As mentioned earlier, this application will be targeting to trying and bringing the different types of services that we offer, like concert management and marathon management, volunteer church management, etc., bring it much more closer to the current audience, large group of audience that we have. And as mentioned earlier, there's a continuous increase in audience and the manual data storage that we're currently having, and we have, put a lot of pressure on the staff and the end user recently because of this particular search. So we decided to go forward and make it much more easier, make it much more virtual, make sure that the end user is connected more to us and they don't have to wait on calls to be able to order a particular event or be able to order some sort of service from us. Now, the idea behind this website is also to be able to automate all the different sorts of features and solutions that we can at this point of time, and make it a one-stop solution to be able to better manage different sorts of featurings or registration features or process management or customer payment processes or customer event timelines and their reporting management, etc. So I guess, it's basically trying to make it a one-stop solution. Now, moving on to the very aim of the project. Now, the aim of the project is to be able to try and understand the current market analysis and realize what exactly we need in terms of customer needs. We initially had a lot of walk-in customers, but now we want to be able to go virtual and help all these people draw a little bit closer and connect a little bit closer to us. So 30% of the project deliverables will be able to target towards trying and getting a user interface which will be interactive enough, user friendly enough, and attractive enough that we will have at least 50,000 initial flow of usage per customer within a specific area. The rest of the 30% project deliverables are being targeted towards trying and setting up backend web services on which this web application will be based on. The 20% of the project deliverables will be conducted to try and analyze what type of databases will be most essential to hold this particular application without breaking it. And we also want to be able to make sure that databases are large enough in terms of maintaining a constant mapping of the data from front end to back end. And the remaining 20% we want to be able to procure on the servers, since it's very important for us to have a fast processing of the requirements that we want from UI to the backend. So we want to be able to concentrate in short 30% of the deliverables on the front end, make sure that the customer is happy, and the rest of the project will be concentrating on business lines going from middleware to the back end, ensuring that processing is stable for the web application, as well as making sure that these web services are carrying accurate amount of business lines from point A to point B. Now, moving on to the business objectives. Now, the main purpose or the justification behind this particular application, as mentioned earlier, is to try and enhance the current delivery of real-time products into trying and bringing it into an application virtual aspect. So anything that will enhance the current features that we already have and bring a real-time Ajax sort of functionality into it will help us get closer to our business objective, get closer to our dream. What we want to be able to do is remove the current Java technology that we are using and implement SAP functionality, which will help us go forward and order our tasks much better, manage our business much better. And it will also help us implement the latest and the greatest front-end UI application. Not only that, but it will also give us a very accurate description of who is ordering what and in what quantities are we supposed to deliver to them. For example, if someone has ordered a catering function and they want us to go forward and get 10,000 deliverables of food items, we want to be able to use something which will automatically take in this order. An SAP tool was the solution to that particular dream. Now, in order to be able to do that, we want to be able to go ahead and roll out Java-based application that we are already using, on which we got a lot of complaints from the end user. We want to be able to implement the SAP technology in the back end. And in order to start building that particular web application, we would be able to use the current business processes that we are already having in place. To implement that particular web application on the SAP-based technology, however, we are supposed to draw in much more business, which Mike Clark will be handling. And the feature and the business objectives will obviously be incorporated to cater the business needs and cater the dynamic web page displays that we're going forward with. We would want to concentrate more this time on the customer payment processing, since there was a major implementation of chip processing in the cards. We want to be able to bring in more card payment opportunities like MasterCard, Discover. We would also want to start using the low mileage cards, which help customers get better credit scores. According to the current market analysis, it's very, very suitable for drawing larger group of audience. We want to concentrate more on the compliance and security, since this time we're going for a web application which is based on SAP functionality. It's always best to go for something which won't get hacked, or which won't have information leaking, like customer payments or customer card processing payments. um, we would also want to be able to implement the business objectives, which will help us incorporate all the different sorts of features in making customer data secure, but SAP as the backend. So now moving on to the success criteria. Every project it's very important for a project to have a success criteria, to be able to say that, okay, this project is now finished and we can move on with the next few projects and we can get a sign off on this particular project from the business. So for us to have a success criteria, we wanted to be able to target some major milestones. Now, this project will only be deemed successful if the backend will function without breaking for a minimum of 3 months. We had have a lot of problems last time that we implemented Java technology. Our application broke in like 3 months because the testing was not adequate. So we wanted to be able to take those 3 months into account and say this application should not break for a minimum of 3 months and should have all the types of regression to integration testing, which will prove that it's customer withstanding. We also want to be able to achieve a minimum of 500 positive customer reviews online within the first 2 weeks of launching this particular application. We are going with at least a growth of 1 million followers for over the next 6 months within the range of Dallas itself, where our servers will be placed. And since this is a web application which is already based on a very popular program that we are currently running in real time in terms of event management, we want to be able to target at a 300% profits above margin, and aiming for a better customer satisfaction mostly. Now, when it comes to project schedule, we want to be able to go ahead and deliver this particular project to the month of May. Since we already have a current application which we need to roll out, it's going to be a short-term project. And the initial increment will be within the current next 2 months itself. This is going to be our project schedule. We are going to start off with the database setup. We're going to have the data team validations done in the next few days. We're going to have the middleware activity set up, and then we'll start building our UI, basically trying to identify what is the current market need and what is the current customer satisfaction that needs to be targeted for. Last but not the least, and very important, we want to ensure that this is going to be a project with minimal risks, but risks nevertheless. Since this is an application which is aiming towards going for an enterprise level launch, we want to make sure that no other feature or functionality within the enterprise is not broken because of this particular launch. We want to be able to use Agile as the methodology for this particular application. Unfortunately, we usually use Waterfall in the rest of the company. So this is going to be sort of a risk in terms of process. However, since we have contractors who are capable and already trained within the methodology, we hope to minimize this risk that way. The application will serve the end user, and then will also be able to understand the current needs, and only on the basis of that will we be able to start the UI analysis. So a lot of dependency on our business analyst and on our business product owner. And we hope to make sure that with the launch of this application, we'll go forward and get things moving on with a better profitability, with a better customer satisfaction, more connectivity to our end user. Thank you. And if you have any questions, please kindly reach out to me or our business analyst, and we'll go forward and send out the meeting minutes at the end of this meeting. If you have any questions, kindly reach out to me. Have a great day ahead.